All right, guys. Morning all. Sorry I've been away so long. I'm not going to get into it today, but yeah, been going through some stuff. Let's just say, let's leave it at that and focus on the charts. But I've missed you all, and I've really been looking forward to coming back and trading with you guys. I did actually take my first trade in about 10 days yesterday, trying to get a feel for this market. So let's go over where we are and have a look at what kind of models we're in. Starting off in the daily, as always, you can see so far we're on a Wednesday. All right, the weekly high and low so far has been set by the Monday and Tuesday. Those who've done the course will understand that is our weekly range. That is equivalent of an initial balance for this week. So we're waiting to see if the market wants to find a continuation outside of those first Monday and Tuesday high and lows. Within that, we have some clear resistance. Now, you can see every time we're popping up into 26,000 and above, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and even yesterday, 8, we are unloading, all right? Someone keeps passively selling up into pushes in there, all right? The Bollingers have been contracting. We have all the EMAs very, very tight down here. So far, we keep finding bids in this low volume node down here that we talked about a few weeks ago, all right? So really the levels are 600 to 26,000 rotation, 400-point rotation. We can see we have a node right here into the 800s as well, worth paying attention to. Okay, so can the market find acceptance over this? If it can it get acceptance over this and start to drive up with the bolt? Or does the market find acceptance below this and come down and open this out? We don't know. It's really that simple. We don't know. So we are stuck in here in rotation while it builds, and we can get some more clues as we move down into the hourly charts, which we will do now. Okay, hourlies. Make sure you can see all this, make this a bit bigger for you all. All right, you can see we have this old balance range down here. We're basically stuck between two balance ranges, right? This was a 2-week balance, basically in here on the old contract, all right? And this was a two-week balance dating back to, what, the 29th of December? Okay. And we keep attempting to find new balance to move point of control and value higher, but we keep failing. So we came in here for a few days, and now we're opening up underneath back inside this old balance. All right, so this is the problem right now. We are not seeing continuation. Tech continues to be a little bit weaker as the market starts to broaden. We are not seeing this kind of move here, moving balance higher, taking out stops. What we're seeing is balance created. Everyone says, no, that's too expensive. Let's come back down. And we're back into this old weekly point of control. So it's worth noting the previous week and the developing week. We are under the developing week's value right now. So if we find, all right, if we come into sort of the 830s, anywhere up here, and we keep selling into it, then we're probably going to rotate down to this point of control. This is where they keep finding bids. It's a big level. 1, 2, 3 weeks worth of POC down here. If we lose sort of 680, 700s and we back test it and we stay heavy, then I'm expecting a rotation down to 5.5s, all right, 5.50s. If we come underneath, find a bid, reclaim, rehold, then what we're going to do, we're going to come right back to 850s. If we go over 850s, base and hold, then I'm thinking we're going to go to 900. So there's lots of levels here that we need to be aware of. We are in a rotational market. I would say this current week potentially is seeing some weakness now if we stay heavy versus these 8s. Okay, if we stay heavy versus 8s, and definitely if we stay heavy under 680s. All right. We can see if we move up here what we've done overnight. All right, Asia goes sideways. We lose the bid. We come down. We come into London, we lose it, and so far you're starting to see the sell. Yeah, I'm going to go through the news shortly, guys. I know some of you are talking about the news at 10. I know that the tariff news is potentially coming at 10. We don't have that for certain. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. We move up into here. So you can see my key levels. I'm interested in pushes that fail into here, which is what we had on that 830 PPI print. All right, pushes that fail anywhere up here. Do we see the sell? Bids that hold here. All right, dip and reclaim. Do we see the buy? If we flip this, then I'm expecting to sell this back down to the next lot of levels. All right, I don't really want to get caught just trading between this. This is your range potentially building out though, so it is worth noting. All right, we can have a quick look at the ES and the spiders. Same kind of thing here. We're seeing a rejection here of 680s, sorry, 980s. All right, keep rejecting here. If we keep doing that on the ES, we can have a little zoom out here, and maybe we dig in for some of these stops. We'll have to see. Let's have a look at some of the ETFs quickly, just make sure they're in alignment. Yeah, same thing here on the Qs, looking good. Rejecting this. So you've had 1, 2, 3 drives coming underneath. Do we stay heavy here for this rotation? That's the question for me. Spider's the same thing. Yeah, exactly the same thing. All right, 1, 2, 3. Starting to get stuck here. Do we see a retest of 87s, 88, somewhere down there? If we have a look at the VIX, you'll notice it's started to find a bid. We've talked about this for a while. This kind of thing here is always dangerous, right? There's the bid, the reclaim. We can mark that out. As we start to see them price in some risk now. Same pivots, same levels, up into this same pivot. And you can see this 18 break is where the market can start to move. 18 and 1860s is where we're starting to get more violent. We start moving outside of that on the VIX. We'll see downside pressure in this market. Let's have a quick look at the MAG, just see where we're opening up. All right, gap down there in Apple inside its weekly range. Amazon, gap down, starting to lose some of its weekly range. Goog, gap down. It's not as bad as the rest of the market. That looks a little bit better, to be honest. That is awful. Meta getting absolutely slammed there, losing a bid, starting to expand lower. So that's very, very weak. Microsoft, same story as Meta, starting to lose a bid here. So weak in tech. Nvidia, well, let's just zoom out a little bit here. Yeah, it's starting to lose this. Look, every attempt to reclaim it this week. 1, 2, 3, rejection. If it keeps staying heavy at 86s, it's going to start losing bids. And Tesla, what are you doing, my friend? Same kind of story. That's a little bit stronger. It's not too bad versus Monday. All right, so you've got that pivot versus Monday, which it can still protect. And the broader market has started to sell. Okay. I'll tell you now, guys, I'm likely to take it very, very slow. It's my first day back. I've got to ease in, find a feel for the market. Probably not going to be big risk on out the gate. Just a bit of a heads up there. This is my developing profile. It is good. News-wise, yeah, some of you talking about this 10 a.m. news, which is possible we get the tariff news today. Not guaranteed, but definitely possible. We had PPIs that come out already. Let's see if I can reload this. Came out. Retail sales came in better than expected. Retail sales minus autos came in better than expected. If you believe any of this, these are all delayed reports. And consumer price index came in cooler. Let's have a look what we got here. Business inventories coming at 10. And then we are expecting the tariff news from the Supreme Court. So we will see. I'm not making guarantees there. It would not surprise me if they don't make a decision yet again and bump it to another day. But we will see. And we will see if that's priced in already. Big pivots here that I'm watching. Spiders 690. You can see keeps finding a bid down at 690. And the Qs, really you're watching those sort of 621s up to 623s. That's the kind of rotation right now. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm not going to get a chance to go through everything. But hopefully some of you have traded well while I've been away. There have been some really nice setups while I've been away. Really, really nice. Hopefully lots of you locking in some good profits as this market. It's given you some pretty big rotations for you to play. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's good to be back. Hopefully this is back to normal. I'm expecting a few bumps in the road for me, so it's possible I won't be streaming every day next week, but let's see. Hopefully we can get back to normal. All right, I just want to check my levels here, make sure everything's looking good. Where is that POC? All right, so I want to see if we can get a drive out this morning to the upside to fade, or see if a dip holds here, or even if they flip it would be really nice. Market feels a little bit weak to me today, so let's just see how we go. Couple minutes left here while we get prepped. It's been a good week. Yeah, lots of you done well. That's good to hear. That is good to hear. There's been some nice opportunities. Definitely been some nice opportunities. And you can see, like, we're just at the midpoint of the range. If you look at the daily, like, we're right on the 20-day right now. So, you know, the edge will come if we start to lose the bid. And we can think about the rotation to come and take out some of these stops, maybe down into the sort of the 5s, the 4s, and even the lower Bollinger Band down at 120. Well, that doesn't have to happen all in one session or even this week. But if we lose the bid, we'll get some edge in the market. If the bid starts to hold up and look to expand over those stops at 26, 125, then we can think about all-time highs. But at the moment, the market's shown that it is really struggling every time it wants to look up there. I agree, Carla. Yeah, I agree. It would be a nice area to be short versus, or even to be long over if we start to reclaim. I'm going to put this in here. Make sure I've got these levels in above. There we go. Okay, here we go, folks. 15 seconds. Like I said, I'm likely to take it a little bit easy today. I'm not even going to guarantee that I'm going to trade. Just want to get a feel for this market. See how I feel. All right. Fast moving tape here this morning. Let's see what they do. Can they pull it upside and offer us that fade? All of the mag opening up very, very, very heavy to start the day. All gapping down, all in the red. So can this market move upside and offer us a fade to start the day? Or are we just going to stay heavy and lose this previous week point of control? It's actually a 2-week balance down there. Let's see. Time will tell. Feels heavy to me. Feels like we were going downside here into some of these old imbalances. Get this 5-minute looking better. There we go. All right. Give this a chance to see if we flip this blue box or we drive into the red box. Don't really want to trade in the middle of this. I feel like we're going to come down into this. The most ideal thing would be if we drive higher first and then lose a bid. That would be really ideal. They keep bidding around these 720s for now. I think we'd probably lose this and trade down to these 685s at some point because the mag looks very, very heavy. Big sellers coming in here on the market, trying to force us lower now. So into these 700s, once we lose these, I'm looking for 685s. Here we go, bang, straight into it. So a little scalp trade into that from 700s down. And let's see if we lose a bid here in this blue box now and we start to flip this. So previous, is this right? Let's make sure I've got this right. Yeah, we can trade all the way down into 565s here. If we lose this point of control, really nice. So into the 80s. This is the previous week POC. And if we lose this, very possible we come into sort of 570 kind of area. So this blue box, we need to flip this blue box now if we're going to get continuation. All right, this is the choice. Market comes back up here or market builds some liquidity and comes down for this. Just letting it build out. So I did take a little snap trade from the 700 break down into this previous week point of control just for a little scalp. Trying to feel my way back into this market at the moment. Big selling came in this morning at 720s, so that you know that's a level. VIX starting to break out upside. Looks good for more downside pressure here. As long as they stay heavy. We'd like to see us come under this, retest this and stay heavy. That would be the best move. I want to see how we work our way back to VWAP here if they stay heavy. But I'm not going to reshort until we come under all of this now. I want to see buyers push us up and get trapped, basically. Otherwise, if they're going to hold this blue box, then we can think about if we're going to go in full range rotation all the way back up to here. All right, make sure you're zoomed out on the hourly. Remember, we went over this level as a reason there's a blue box here. So they're finding bids here for now. The question is this met with some passive selling, or are they actually going to look to hold previous week point control and come all the way back up, all the way up into here? So at the moment, they're trying to hold. Here comes the squeeze. All right, it's good to get a feel for this market right now. Back to the New York Open. If they squeeze through this, then technically they should come back up for these 820s. All right, if they really want to gun for it. There's a New York Open. They're getting trapped there, the buyers on that New York Open so far. 720 has been the level that they keep selling at. And buyers just came in aggressively at 740. Can they hold a bid over that 740, that New York Open print? If they can, then maybe we're going to go back into these 820s, which would be an area I'm very interested in seeing if buyers get stuck into fade against. So here's the squeeze. So they're still protecting this area. Amazing. How many times is that now? Quite a few. All right, this is where we're going to get interesting. Into lower time frame algo, into the VWAP, into previous day low, into previous day value area low, previous week value area high, previous day point of control. So I'm looking for this to lift into here. I'm not playing this long. I don't like that setup down there. I'm not playing this long. Let's see how we act in here. If we are able to fade this, or if we pivot above, base and hold for a re-squeeze up to 900s. I'm not ruling anything out. Took the long from previous week point of control. Yeah, I mean, it made sense. I would have liked to have seen it dip under this. I guess it did dip and rip, but I mean, your only long trigger really was, I guess, 700 reclaim. But you're already almost 100 points up. It's a good long. Some strong selling coming in here, and we're still bidding up. So just be careful. They look like they're trying to force a squeeze here. That is a big outlying delta there at 780. They are really trying to force this now into that 24-hour VWAP. If they get through this, we're going to go 820 really. Or previous day low. I'd watch 800s to 820s, maybe all the way up to 840s. Let's see if some buyers get stuck up there. If not, then 900s. Just having a look around here. Get a feel for it. Okay, some buyers caught on that big outlying delta I just talked about at the 80s. So 24-hour VWAP over this New York Open print. Bids, they will try. Buyers now will want to try and hold this bid here and complete this. I actually want to see us come into here to see if we can do something like this for that fade all the way back down. Don't really want to trade the midpoint between this block and this block. Not especially on my first day back when I'm probably not that sharp. You're not seeing profit or loss so far. It's just one trade, mate. That's all I've got, right? One trade. There's nothing to show. Already people in here looking for signals. It's incredible. Okay, back down to that previous week point of control. Buyers losing that bid there, not able to hold that New York Open. We're going to come all the way back down now to these 700s. If we start to stay weak under this, then all that buying pressure and that squeeze pressure just came in will get stuck. So we will see here. It's a bit of a messy tape here this morning. Mag still very heavy. Spiders holding those 90s we talked about, those 90s on the SPY, probably gamma exposure there. Here comes the fade back into that volume point of control kind of level from previous week. It's also current day. Right back into this blue box. So I'd say now sellers will try and fade every single pop here. They will try to fade and force a new low, leaving the buyers stuck. Buyers will want to reclaim New York Open. This is what I'm saying. A bit of a messy tape here. Probably to be expected before 10 a.m., right? So back to these sevens again. They're trying to bid off sevens. I feel like they want to wash this, honestly. We'll see. They've got to come under there and stay heavy, in my mind. We're right at point of control for the session right now. Let's get a bit of volume on here. Where's my guy? So big selling came in at 15s for today. So they keep trying to drive up there. That's where we keep seeing big selling. stepping in. If they get back above 15s, there's a squeeze out to 40s. There's above 15s now. So can they squeeze out to 40s now is the question. They cannot get a close above 15s. So there's passive selling still there around 15s. Aggressive buying, passive selling. So there is a passive seller around 15s. If he gets squeezed out, then we probably trade 40s. If he keeps stepping in there, then we're probably going to see downside pressure for low of day. It's very messy because we're on this big blue box. We know this is a huge level from 2 previous weeks. All right, this isn't just a daily level. This is a weekly level from at least 2 weeks, possibly even 3, to be honest. Dates back to Sunday, the 21st of December. So we got POC from that week. And from, what's this, the 4th of Jan. So at 15, still a level, still a battle here at 15. Yeah, it's supposed to be at 10 o'clock today, Adam. Supposed to be. No guarantees, though. They've kicked it 2 or 3 times already down the road. Back to these 700s. Huge seller coming in here. Let's see if we get some follow through now. Versus point of control. Are they going to absorb here, or are we finally going to see some follow through on the market today? Still absorbing that previous week point of control. They've got to get under 85s. If sellers get under 85s, we're going to see new low of days. I'm interested in this. We're underneath point of control on the day, the 700s. A big seller's just stepped in here. We can't reclaim 15. Sellers have got the opportunity to wash this, but they need to get close under 85s, and then we're going to see lower day. Here we go, 85s. Can we get closure under here, and are we going to start to break lower? So trying to position for a snap here. No closing under 85s yet. It keeps being absorbed there. So just a little scalp there for me again. Back to point of control on the day, which is 700. So sellers have the chance to take control of this, but we are in a demand area. All right, so sellers have the chance to take control of this market right now. We're hovering at demand area. What sellers need to do is very simple. They need to fade versus 7 or 715, close under here, and reject to go lower. They want to be very careful adding short down here. They will get caught, just like they did here. So we're looking for this to fade, to stay heavy, to cause a rotation down to here. That's what sellers need. Buyers, they want to reclaim this, leave all this sell side delta trapped. Have a little look at the mag. Tesla 1.35% down, Nvidia 1.75% down, Microsoft 1.03% down, Meta 1% down, Google 0.90% down, Amazon 1.24% down, Apple pretty much flat on the day, still red but flat on the day. Let's have a look at the broader indexes. ES just under 0.5% down, YM holding up almost flat, 0.07% down, RTY 0.19% down. So those indexes which we've seen rotation in doing a little bit better. We are in the weaker asset in here in NQ, which is why really if we're going to be short, this is the best asset to be short on because tech has been weak. Here we go. Thank goodness for that. Okay, here we go. So the rotation, as I said, trying to position 715, 700, see if we can get a rotation. Right, let's see if we stay heavy now for potential ads, and we'll look for this move here. All right, we do not want to see this. We want to see heaviness stay in the market down into here now. Really good. Beautiful. All right. Have we got any bids lower? Hopefully we have. We got bids stacking up lower. Yeah, we got 6s stacking up, which is good. Well, I want to get to 570s. No, let's not go buyers. We don't care about the buyers today. Beautiful. Beautiful. I would be paying yourself on the way down to here. This is where we want to get to, though. We want to get down into here. And if we start losing that, I'm telling you, this market can get very, very weak down into the 300s if we start losing that blue line. Pay myself into this. Wait to see if we get a pop that starts to reject now. All right. Do we get a pop that starts to reject this now, or do we get a reclaim? If I'm going to get more size on, that's what I'm looking for. We have an imbalance here, 662 to 679, and another one 682 to 687. Really good. Oh, come on, I want to get more size on. Not like fully sizing, because I know I'm probably not that sharp. Here goes VIX. Looking for that 1750s on the VIX. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What I don't want to do is see us trade down to here and then come back up and look for an ad. I want to get an ad on before we see weakness down into this, all right? Because this is like a low-hanging fruit. And I'd say it's a range because last week's one is sort of 560s and the week before is just below at 540s. So it's a range down here. So it's probably a 20-point range that we can think about a cover point in. Come on, get your ass up so I can get some size on here, please. Where's my volume gone? Didn't I just put that on? Nice development here as well. This is going to support thesis of shorts from sort of 70s to 90s. Oh, I'm just going to use my runner only, am I? You mother clucker. Man. All right, coming into the 20-day on the Qs. SPY with a little bit further to go. Oh well, almost 100-pointer, but not enough size. All right, opening range now set here, folks. Your first 15 minutes, so just be aware of that. This white line's your opening range. I want to see if we return into here and stay heavy. All right, so trimmed most off now. Going to make sure I lock in $800 no matter what. No, why is it a bad time to ask? No worries, but were you inspired by all the turtle trading strategy, always minimizing losses and never minimizing profits? I mean, I don't think that's like a turtle trader strategy. I think that's just the key to trading the end. Big buyer down here at the lows. Big buyer down here at the lows. So I don't think we finished the auction lower. I think we're going to move lower. There's a big buyer down here. 190 lot right at the low of day. I don't think that we finish this auction based on that. I think we will move lower. We might have to pop up first, but I would not say this will be low of day. Just because of what I've seen there. Yes, remaining week. Where's this guy stacking? 50s, 600s below us. I think we're going to wash 600s, honestly. Let's see if we can pop first. Will they let me get some more size on? There's a little shelf here, 43s and 55s. Here we go for the drive into it, which is good. 43 and 55s. Seller here at 650. If we reclaim this, we squeeze right back up into this block. We've got a little node which has barely been traded through here, so a little bit of a gap here into 70s if they do really want to get up for that. I don't think, I'm not convinced low of days in just because of this guy here, but maybe we did flip that delta, but we'll see. We will see in time. It's good for me to just get a feeling of what this feels like. So up to the 55s, like we said, into this sort of node. You can see this sort of shelf here develop. Acting as resistance so far. And they're finding dips now versus 30s. Let's see if we come up here. So we're reclaiming this. I'll make this grey. I want to see how we act into this. This is what I really want to see. A little low volume node. Do we push and fail here into this imbalance? Messy tape. I don't think low of days in. I'm going to be honest. I know we've got some delta down there, but that big buyer that came in here, 167 lot at low of day, I doubt they let him stay comfortable. I very much doubt they let him stay comfortable. Losing this shelf again then. See how we react here. Did we get into this low volume node? Almost. So a bid here, 170 lot at 630. Once we wash that, potentially low of day. If they keep bidding off this, then maybe they go for a 2-leg higher into that block that we talked about before, into the 80s. But if they lose it, maybe low of day. Yeah, thanks, Mike. We've talked about that quite a few times. News at 10. I mean, I don't know. If they say the tariff's illegal, how the hell are you going to give all the money back that you've pulled in? How do you keep record of that? It'll be interesting. That will be interesting. Yeah, they're looking to trade. This 630 is a big shelf now. This will be the third time attempting this shelf in the last 2 minutes or something. Just looking at Bookmap. They're trying to do a 2-leg here. Thanks, Bella. Hope you're good. Hope you're good. Bella, could I ask a favor? Could you send me some more codes, please, so I can do some giveaways now I'm back? That'd be amazing. This 630 is a big level. You can see it on Bookmap, right? We've got 175 lots stacked there. We've come down to it twice. I want to see if we trade under it and lose it, or if they bid off this. I'm just waiting at the moment. I think if we lose it, I'm not guaranteeing that lower day is set, because I don't like the look of that low of day. I think there's too many buyers down there, and they will probably want to wash them. But it's my first day back in the market, so don't take what I say as gospel. All right, coming back down to this 630 again. So this 176 lot is. Let's see if they fill him. Does he get absorbed here? He's just sat on the tape. Everyone's front running him. I think we're going to snap him. I just think that this is going to get nasty. Here he comes, 630. Let's see if we wash through him. And if we do we go low of day? Still absorbing off him so far. They've added size into there as well. Everyone's front running him, haven't quite touched him yet. So there's 180 lot there now at 630. Still haven't traded through him, just hasn't used him to be absorbed yet. Yes, we don't. Oh, God. I'm not going to get into tit for tat. $630 still holding, still not traded through him yet. Still inside our opening range, 15-minute opening range as well. Can't get above this grey shelf. All right, 630s. Here we go. There he goes. Night. Big seller coming in here. Now, can they get follow through? 153 lot sell side come through here. Do we get follow through for low of day or not? That is the question. So we've absorbed him into 630. We're back above that 630. That's your pivot. The big seller came in there, got absorbed by the buyer. They're starting to stack now. 610, 605, 600, 590, these buyers. Sellers keep attacking this point of control, which is slowly drifting downside, this red line on your chart. That grey box is your over-under right now. Sellers are trying to... What sellers want is for this to fail and to use these stops. There's 190 lot buy side here who came in at the bid, market buying here. They're looking to trade him down to here. That's what sellers want to do. Buyers will want to reclaim this and get up to here and then make a decision at this point. It's good for me to be back just to get a feel of what this market feels like. I have to go and get another tea here in a minute. What indicators do I use? These are my Flow Zone Pros. Grey box still holding heavy. There's so many buyers stacked from 15 to 90s, honestly. I'd be very surprised if we don't go and clean them up. Here we go. I think lower day, a new lower day here, guys, because the 190 lot at that lows is just standing out like a sore thumb. Grey box rejecting. Here we go. Yes, Alex was right. Okay, he's still got a feel for the market after even all that time off. Okay, going to come and fill all these guys up. They're starting to add size now, all the way down to 75s, which will take us sort of into previous week value area low. Remember, this is the target. This is what we talked about this morning. Pops to fail, rotation, lose grey box, lose point of control. They want to come down into here. We're starting to see it happen now. That's a better low of day auction, I will say. We actually have some sell side delta at that low, unlike before where it was all buy side. All right, we've got how long? We've got 4 or 5 minutes until the news. I'm just going to get a refill of my tea and come back, okay? Where have you been, if that's not too personal? It is too personal. I needed some time off. I've had the worst 10 days of my life, and it will always be the worst 10 days of my life for the rest of my life. So I can't get into it, guys. I will choke up. I will start becoming a puddle of tears on stream. I just can't get into it with you guys, all right? But just know, I don't leave you guys. I don't not stream because I can't be bothered or anything like that. If I'm not on stream, it's because something serious has happened, unless I'm on vacation. That's what's happened. Something very, very serious started to occur last week, and I've been dealing with it ever since, all right? So it's been a very, very tough time for me. It continues to be a tough time for me, but it's important that I have my own sanity and try and get in some routine. And I genuinely miss trading with you guys. So it's healthy for me to come back. All right, we have some buy-side delta here at 16s. If we get under 16s, that big buyer will get caught again, and we'll get a reflush. There's under 16s. Let's see if they expand it. There we go. So you can see him on the tape. He keeps getting himself caught. He keeps aggressively buying down there for some odd reason. He's got himself caught again. So I think you're going to get rotation to previous week value area low now. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I do appreciate you. Guys, I can't, like, even to say thank you for you guys makes me like choke up. But I really appreciated you all. Those who took the time to write me a message, whether it was in Discord or on YouTube. Some of you even sent me a private email. It didn't go unnoticed. I know I didn't reply to a lot of you. I've just been dealing with too much. But I am genuinely very grateful for the prayers and the love that you give me. It gave me strength in a very tough time, and I appreciate you all. All right. Okay, I can show you my scorecard. I'm only trading one account today because I just want to ease my way back in. So just 900. I said to you, I'm going to make sure I lock in at least 800. So 900 on that one. When I'm feeling comfortable, maybe by next week, I'll start trading all of these together again. And then we've got 4 minutes or 3 minutes until the news if we get it. Building out lots of liquidity here. I still think we can rotate lower. So those of you who are in shorts, as long as you're managing your stop, protecting your profits, you look good. Remember, we were short this morning. I think it was this drive here. I'm trying to remember. It was either here or here, somewhere around here. We were looking for shorts, and this is where we're looking to try and get down into. All right, so we're looking at this whole number 600s here. If we lose that, I think we trade into this. This is like a 20-point block. All right, I'll tell you why it's a 20-point block, because it's a 2-week range that we're looking at down there, the edge of a 2-week range. We went over this pre-market. All right, this right here. All right, bang, bang. All right, this is what we're looking at, this kind of level. If we lose that and stay heavy, then you can see this old pivot. Don't have to do it today, but it's possible. All right. Maybe if we have some bad news, like the tariffs were illegal, blah, 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 got to give all the money back. Don't know how that looks. Maybe we come down into that. We have a huge amount of liquidity then. Think about all the liquidity we have then built out in here. And if we start to lose it, and these are all buyers, all right, we will see major heaviness in the market. That might start to form a crack in the market because that is 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks trapped. And before that, we had another few weeks trapped up here, all right? So if we start to lose all of this, we can talk about, this was the old naked point of control, wasn't it? Let's move this up. Remember that? We bought those dips last month into that. So again, a level to be aware of. No longer naked, but we traded into that a while ago. Let's move this up so you can see the days. There we go. Okay, almost there, folks. Almost into this previous week value area low. So that's your low-hanging fruit. I would be taking a good chunk of your money off into that, and you can hold runners for beyond that. What is the news at 10? Well, allegedly, we're going to get a decision from the Supreme Court on whether tariffs are legal or not. And we also have existing home sales. And then we don't have anything until midday where we've got, you know, I'd say 12 o'clock all the way into like 2 o'clock. You have Fed speakers. You got the beige book at 2 as well. So you might get a little volatility at 2. I won't be here for that today. I've got to ease my way back in. Almost there, folks. So make sure you're paying yourself. You can think about this shelf even down here now. Make sure you're paying yourself on the way down, okay? Here we go. There's your TP. There's your TP. And there's the weakness. All right, so you should be done. You can hold runners. That is an absolutely gift. All right, beautiful session this morning. That's exactly what we were looking for. All right, all the way from 740s really down into here. So you're almost 200 points. Make sure you're paying yourself into that. Like I talked about, this is a 2-week balance range down here. We do not know how we're going to act down here. Opinion on Bookmap and footprint charts. Opinion is they are fantastic. I use both. As you can see above me right now, I have Bookmap. On my Ninja Trader, I am using footprint, but you can use it over here. You can see I have footprint on here for you guys. All right, I use both. They are fantastic. It's where I get my edge from. Really good. All right, so the question now will be very, very simple. Can we build out new liquidity? All right, somewhere in here to come down into these? That's the question. That is the only question I'm now asking. All right, so really, really solid trade. W's in chat if you got any of that. W's in chat if you got any of that with me. Hopefully some of you locked. You don't have to have got it all, but hopefully you got some of it with me. VIX really starting to break. Look, I've just got a notification. VIX coming into the 18s we just talked about. Right, it just got stuck in front of 18, so be aware of that. Existing home sales came in good, better than expected. 4.35 million versus 4.13, previous 4.22, so more home sales, which is good. And nothing on the tariffs yet. Like I said, that's the outlier. That's the big outlier today if we get that tariff news. Yeah, lots of you getting it. Nice work. Oh, sorry. Bookmap's footprint feature instead of trading views. I don't use footprints on Bookmap. I just struggle to read it that well. I don't like the layout of it. I use it on Ninja. All right, so I have it on my Ninja Trader. I use it on here, so you can see. But it's horses for courses. You got to do whatever suits you. Whatever suits you. Took the short from 690 from up here. Really good. Look at that, all the way down. So well over 100 points, 130 odd points for you. And we see now we see if we build liquidity here, like we talked about. I mean, potentially there's a continuation, but remember we're on discount now versus the previous week. But if we lose a bid, we can't rule this out. This is not the best location to be short now, which is under previous week value area low, because we are very, very cheap. We're in discount. But if we lose a bid here, we can't rule out that this market, it may very well want to continue to rotate lower. We cannot rule that out. It's very, very possible. But lots of people will be trying to buy here, thinking that this is cheap on a 2-week discount. So we will just see. I'd say you need to pay attention to these shelves. Look at the liquidity built here, low volume above, up into 14s. So if they get a squeeze out, they come to 14s. I would be sort of risk off if we start to. Where I'd be cautious, right, is if we start to reclaim this, is where we can get a little bit squeezy. Otherwise, we can squeeze up into here, and it can be a failure at that point again. It's possible. Look at the liquidity built. Look at the value area low. But new money short location is not good down here. If we're going to go into trend day, then your runners might work really well. I'll just let it build out a bit more liquidity before you add on. Do I live stream every day? Yeah, normally I'm here every day. I've had some time off recently, but yes, I'm hoping to be back here every day. 9:15 Eastern time, all the way into lunch. So smash subscribe, smash that like button. I do want to do some giveaways. We can do a few giveaways today because I've been away a while. Maybe I'll give a couple Apex accounts away today. Okay, SPY coming into its 20 days, so we're, that mean reversion trade into the midpoint on the daily has happened. Q's already under it. That 18 is a big level on the VIX. Remember, we went over this level earlier. On the VIX, you can see my alert. It's been there for weeks. All right, I know the break over there is a problem for the market. All right, so we got very, very, very close. There was some huge, anyone watching the option chain on VIX, there was some huge calls taking place yesterday on VIX. All right. Yeah, I see that as well. The gap still there. Okay, into this low volume node. I'm watching this grey box above. They can protect this node. It can act as resistance. Flow zone's also there as resistance. I would like to see a 2-leg if I'm going to think about refading this. I want to see lots of participants trapped in this if I'm thinking about actually refading it. Be very careful here because we've hit the low-hanging fruit. Remember, our target was this blue line. All right, so we've hit that low-hanging fruit. I'm willing to play long if we start basing above everything and leaving sellers trapped at the lows. If we're going to go rotation here, I'm willing to play it if we start reclaiming and leaving everyone caught, but not until that point. Right, trend right now currently is lower. We're outside of the opening range. We are outside of previous day's value. We've come down into the low of previous week's value. We want to see if pops get sold into. That's going to be the easiest way to position in this market currently. And I'll only consider longs if we leave lots of shorts trapped and we start to reclaim big levels or squeezes back up. I'll give you a readout on the mag. Tesla 1.59% down, Nvidia 2.5% down, Microsoft 1.41% down, Meta 1.66% down, Google 1.03% down, Amazon 1.64% down, Apple 0.51% down. As an index, we are 1.23% down. We have relative weakness. ES only 0.72% down, YM 0.35% down, RTY trying to go red to green. Okay, so we have relative weakness in tech. We've talked about that. Definitely talked about it in Discord this morning. How do I set up my profile? This is just anchored to 930. It's anchored volume profile to 930. I've got it set at 2 ticks. You can have it at 1,000 per row. Here we go. So pops failing. Again, I would like to see a second leg here develop to really get short into this. But into this low volume node, into this like little bit of an edge, I really want to see a second leg develop here to short. And if I'm saying a second leg, what I'm talking about, I'd love to see something like this. This would be really nice, and we can look for the trade down into here and here. So I want to stay short on this. Please don't just be a single leg, please. Right, I tell you what, 550 to the low of days where sellers got trapped. So if they're going to force a second leg up, they're going to want to protect 550. If they can't, then we're probably going to go lower day. Which tool is this? It's anchored volume profile, guys. All right, it's right here. See this anchored volume profile? All right, and these are the settings. Right here, 2 ticks, and have it set to right. Okay, so they're holding that 550, which is good. So hopefully we can get that second leg higher here, and then if buyers get stuck, we can think about that reshort. Alex, I passed 50K, take profit trader evaluation. I just wanted to say thank you for taking your time trading with us. I've learned so much. You're a great mentor and teacher. Thank you. You're welcome, Eric. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, everyone. Make sure you smash that like button for me. I've got to get this algorithm remembering that I still exist, you know, after the time off. Let's get these likes up. I want to do giveaways. I want to look after you guys. I want to thank you guys for coming back to me on stream. Nice hold of 550 there we just talked about. So those sellers are trapped under 550. If you're wondering how I can see them, I can see them using order flow. All right, I could see that the sellers were caught under 550. That was a big level. Question is, how high can buyers push this? Can we get this second leg up to sell into? Can SPY or ES get back into that New York VWAP? Is there a way to fade up there? Is that the 50-day on the Qs? It is, isn't it? So stack between 20-day and 50-day on the Qs now as well. So coming into huge, big levels on these Qs. Maybe we start to get some crosses over the next few sessions. We will see. All right, here's the 50 hold. Let's see if we can get up to one of these grey boxes. This would be really nice. If we can get all the way up into here, it'd be really nice because we have buyers stuck up there already. We already know it, somewhere up here. Back down to these 70s. Do they test these 50s again? Hopefully not. We want this higher, please. What are we looking like on the hourly here? If you hear me talking to myself a lot, folks, I've got to get myself back in gear here, right? So the hourly transition was 86s. There is a big imbalance on that hourly if we do want to drive back up and test some of those levels. So I am aware of that. So I want to stay short, but I want this market to move up first, trap buyers to allow me to think about the short. I do not want to be short at the low of day. I haven't been here this week, but it's looked to me like we've rotated quite a lot. Numerous 200-point rotations. Yeah, I see that, Adam. Yes, like so that 17 has that big buy delta spike, and then above that we have sell delta at 29s, and then point of control into sort of 44s. Yeah, I see exactly what you're looking at. Right into here, really, into this grey box, right? This is where, if you think about where they kept bidding off, do you remember why I said I don't think the low of days in yet? Because we had a huge buyer here. He was 190 lot buying here on the market. I said, if he loses, we wash. And I said, this is not low of day because it was buy side delta, or that was the wash. So really, we want to see if we retest it. And if he sells on the retest, right? If he didn't stop out and he sells on the retest, we'll see some heaviness come back in. If he's just been relentlessly buying this and he gets back above, he'll take control of the market. There we go. Maybe we've just had some news there. That feels a bit newsy. Let's have a look. Maybe that's the decision from the Supreme Court. Let's see. I can't see anything yet. Nothing on Squawk. No ruling today. Is that what they just said? What a surprise. Is that right, Gigi? Has that actually been announced? Looking for that on Juice. Financial Juice, okay. Yeah, well, then that's the case then. So no reason for this market to necessarily fade lower other than like technicals now. We said it, didn't we? We said it. Will they kick it down the road again? Apparently the answer is yes. So we're coming into that block. Like I said, if we reclaim this now, this is the danger, right? If we reclaim this now, we talked about this earlier. We built liquidity here and here. And if they start reclaiming this, this drive out can take place. Doesn't have to take place, can take place. And this is the big level. It's why you don't get short at low of day. Back to point of control. You're welcome, April. All right, so spiders coming back up. They're through that New York VWAP. ES doing the same through New York VWAP, coming up to 24-hour VWAP. We're through New York VWAP. 24-hour VWAP is up here. All right, we've left sell side delta up here. All right, if buyers start taking control of this market, they can try and complete a full rotation back into value. All right, previous week point of control here is key. Do we reject this and come for a retest, or are we just going to go straight squeeze and start reclaiming every key level and come back up to these value areas? I execute on 1 min. I don't I'm looking for trap participants and execute on 1 min, but my analysis does not come from a 1 minute chart. Not at all. Big buy side delta in this 5 minute candle. Huge buy side delta. Biggest buy side delta we've had of the day. So big old squeeze. Popping lots of stops, I'd say. And where was that big seller this morning? He was at 700. All right, 700. Yeah, exactly. Couldn't get through the 18s, could we, Peter? It came right up, 17.99. Had my alert there at 18s, straight back down. Gross. Absolutely gross. Just wait now. Back to this previous week point of control. Here comes the move towards that 700. Remember that 700 was the big seller this morning. All right, so expect some selling up here. This is where that big seller was this morning. If we're going to go on a gigantic squeeze here, we have all these levels up here to aim for. All right, but they're going to need to pull back at some point. Depends how big a squeeze. We've just popped a ton of stops. They're reselling in front of those 700s. We talked about those 700s, right? 700 on the money is where that huge seller was this morning. You can see him on Delta. He stands out loads. 158 lot this morning came in there, and then a little bit above him into sort of the 20s. So waiting to see how we act now. Am I in the US? Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles. Here comes the rebid. They're trying to get to the 7s. Is this the old line from ages ago? I can't believe that's still on here. Just delete that. Drawing tools. There we go. Any outliers? 75 is big buy side delta. 78 is big buy side delta. 83s and then 700s is the sell side. So buyers will want to hold this shelf. All right. Buyers will want to do this. They want to hold this shelf and reclaim this. Sellers will want to fade this, get under this, and force this rotation back down. So how we act in this shelf is going to be key. Remember, we squeezed up. There is not a whole lot of structure in this. It's a big squeeze out. They're trying to hold this shelf. The buyers doing pretty good job. They're trying to get to 7s, remember. They are trying to get to 7s right now. Right? The reason they're trying to get to 7s is in here. Right? This is where we cracked and where a huge player came in. Right? A huge player came in here to force this market. So we're repricing. What a push. Yeah, good push, wasn't it? Good push. Why you don't short the lows? Well, I said down here, this is not a good position to be short on. I was willing to play short. If we did something like this, I talked about, I was willing to play short. We haven't done that. All we've done is this, right? We're starting to clean up all of these now. We have to wait. If they want to full send it up here today, they might have enough caught to do it. We will see. This grey box now becomes keys, point of control, this little shelf, and this node down here. We can, in fact, do another one. Let's do one down here for this edge. For trading view, you'll have to pay for Pro, and if you just come up to here to candles and just change it to volume footprint. I'll do a video on that this weekend if I get time, because lots of people ask me that. Okay, so watching to see if they can get up into 700s. We've got VWAP just above that. You've got the New York Open up at 740s, value area high on the day up at 740s, 745s, and then previous day value all the way up here. So they're starting to hold this. This is the bullish move now. They're starting to try and squeeze. Here comes the sevens. They're trying to get to that sevens. ES into its New York Open already. So far rejecting that. We're not quite there yet on the NQ. I'd like one more squeeze. Rotational market. We're inside value now on the day. All right, I'd love a squeeze up here and see if we get stuck. Down into this grey box again. Do they rebid off this and VWAP again, or are they going to let this go? VIX has found a little bit of a bid here. Back towards the 20s on the VIX. Back into this grey box, back into point of control. This is the question. Bulls must defend this now. If they fail to defend this, they will get themselves caught. There's a lot of aggressive selling coming in here, and so far it's being absorbed into point of control. Lots of aggressive selling coming in here, so far being absorbed into point of control. We do have bids down at 640, 630, 625. So sellers are getting a little bit angry here. There is definitely some passive buying absorbing this on the tape at the moment, because sellers are not getting the flush, and they came through pretty heavy there. It's really strong from buyers to absorb that. That was heavy sell pressure. We had 84 lot, 36 lot, 6 lot, 43 lot, 55 lot, everything absorbed, 30 lot, just everything absorbed. And now they're trying to get aggressive back to the upside. There's a big battle in this area of this grey box VWAP point of control. This area here is huge for sentiment on the rest of the day. Hey, Scotty, thanks, man. Thanks for that video the other day. Sorry I didn't reply. I was right in the middle of something. Meant a lot, dude, that you texted and reached out. Appreciate it. Bit choppy here while we make up a decision of what's next. I haven't, Jake. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't had the chance to do much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my friend. It's not because I don't want to, bud. It's just my brain has not been functioning on all cylinders right now. Could we rotate inside prior week's value? Prior week? Where's my hourly? I mean, we are already rotating inside prior week's value. This is what we're doing currently. We are already doing that. Current week's value. All right, developing week's value, 830 is your level. That's your value area low, 830. We have a node at sort of 740s. That's the level of current week. All right, to get inside current week's developing value, we will need to get back inside 830s. All right, there's a big level at 740s. So That would be your first bet. We're already rotating inside previous week's value. Guess what? You made money, I hope, Tyson. You got a payout? Another payout. That would make me happy. Another payout. They keep getting stuck here in front of 700s. They want to clean out 700s, what they're trying to do. They keep getting stuck here. Back towards point of control would probably go now. Point of control on this session is 44s. Hey! That's my guy. Tyson requesting 4K. What a difference the end of last year and this year has been to when we started working together. What a difference. Maybe you can tell chat what changed in your trading, my friend. What changed in your trading? What got you from blowing up and struggling? I know we went over like strategies and like making it simpler and one trade, but what was the difference? Because that's what your second or third payout in quick succession. What's been the difference for you, bud? So ES can't get through its New York Open. Dangling around the VWAPs. We're doing the same thing. We're just in between this red block and this grey area. I don't really want to execute a trade here. Slowing down. There you go. Slowing down. Less trades, less size. Let them work more. Wait for the setups. There you go. I'm proud of you, mate. That was that took a lot of dedication and hard work from you to change your style and refine and refine and refine. It just proves process. You stick to the process, you will end up making money. If you start following the money, you end up going wrong. Super proud of you, buddy. Okay, just track between these two boxes still. If you're wondering why I'm not executing anything, that's why. We're building liquidity. I want to see what we do with this liquidity. Sellers keep getting very aggressive around these 50s without getting the breakdown. They are probably looking to wash us back down into this low volume node, or at least the edge into 12s. So they keep getting aggressive here, trying to get the wash. There is a passive buyer who keeps absorbing everything on this tape here. If this passive buyer gives up, then they get the wash. If the passive buyer keeps holding it, then we can expect this market to try and rotate higher. I don't want to trade in this tightening range, right? There's like 30-40 point range here developing for the last, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and just want to wait for us to leave that. It's been a pleasure to work with you, Tyson. It's I love working with students and be able to take them to profitability. It's a good feeling. Makes me feel good. That's what I've missed. That's why I wanted to come back and do this again. All right. So I'm just watching it. If you see me looking up here, I'm just watching Bookmap. They're trying to get this squeeze. They're desperate. They keep absorbing these 50s, and then they're getting aggressive topside, and then not getting their way, and sellers come back in like this. I'm waiting for some form of sentiment shift to come. Maybe you guys can give me just a moment, and I can get some water, maybe even a snack, and come back. All right, here we go. Silver new all-time high, is it? 91. So it wants those hundreds, isn't it? Hey, I'm 19. I was looking to start trading. IDW. I'm really sorry. I'm 40, so I don't know what IDW means. Chose the wrong mentor. I've heard a lot of them are scams. Do you think I should depend on a book? Mind you, I'm a CS student. I don't think books help. Like, it's good to read books, but you're going to have to learn and find your own path, right? It's the path of 10,000 hours, same as any skill. All right, losing that shelf now. It's coming down to this low volume node that we just talked about. All right, so this passive buyer, he's been trying to absorb the 50s. He lost. We come back down into value area low on the session. All right, if we lose this, we trade lower. If they rebid, this is the rotation here. All right, so there's a rotation here. There can be a rotation here. There can be a rotation here. All right, we have to wait now for momentum. That would be my honest opinion, my friend. If you're 19, do as much as you can for free on YouTube. Like, watch my videos, watch other people's videos. See if there's someone you connect with. See if there's a style that makes sense to you. See if there's a form of pedagogy, which is like a teaching style, which you like. Once you like that style, go and watch all their videos as much as possible. Reach out to people who are maybe in their community or watch their videos. Make sure they're legit. Make sure you like get some form of verification that these guys are useful, that they're not just going to charge you, you know, $3, $4, $5, $10,000, which is what most of us do when we start and get ripped off by someone who's absolutely shite. And then, and only then, once you've gone through all their videos and you think these guys are good and people have told you they're good, should you consider doing a course or being part of their community. And that includes with me. I might not connect with you. Maybe I'm the wrong teacher for you. Maybe I trade different style to what you like. That's okay. There's plenty of styles out there. Find the one that's right for you. Look at this wash, right, into the low volume node we just talked about, right? So rotation, lost it. Back down into this. Do they bid over this now? All right, so these will be cover points for shorts. Bulls will want to hold these levels. If they don't hold these levels, we are opening ourselves up for a huge amount of liquidity to be built to come back down into here. Initial balance now set as well. Alex, would 1 or 2 kind of paid tutorial sessions over Zoom be possible at any point in the future? If you're in the mentorship program, yeah. But I won't do it for people that I haven't worked with because it would just be too many unknowns and variables of how you trade. I use it, Nick, I use it on a M1 and an M5. Previous week low? No, it's not the last zone. There's one zone we could hit. I'd say all the way down here, underneath it. 330 to 260 is possible if we stay heavy. That is a big if. Remember, we are inside of initial balance right now. So here's back to previous week value area low. This is a big, big, big level. Remember, shorts this morning got stuck 550 to 530. All right, the shorts got stuck 550 to 530. That is the area bulls will want to defend because they will want to leave them stuck there. Reverse cup and handle looking for lower. Possible. It's possible. You can't rule it out. But I'd say right now we are still inside of previous week's value. We are inside of initial balance. You have to be careful of a reclaim of value, and then we'll just go back into a rotation again. Right. For me, the market has been weak, but it's been in a rotation. But we are definitely leaving current week's value. The problem is when you look left on the hourlies or even on the dailies and you see the amount of structure we've built out over the last, I mean, it's months and months now, guys. We're talking about going back to October, all right? We're talking about going back to October levels. We are making higher lows. The problem is the market cannot make a higher high. So every aggressive buyer at the high of day or every potential breakout is getting caught. All right, but we are making higher lows on the daily. Two ticks, Nick, 2 ticks. So back into these lows again, into this grey box again, this shelf again. Let's see if they pop up and how they act. Right, so if they start reclaiming, they're going to try and get back up into here again. This is just a big old rotation right now, this market. Can't make its mind up what it wants to do in my mind. We are seeing weakness across the board though. Anchored volume profile, AVP. Who just asked that? Just Nico TB. Sorry, completely butchered that, but that's all I can see. What's your name? Rejection of grey box there. Possible fade there. Where's this buyer? That guy from 17's still acting as a level. 617 still buy side trapped there. I'm waiting for this to develop a little bit more. Maybe I can get one more trade out of this today. I know I'm a little bit rusty right now, so I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to do anything silly. We're right on that 20-day SMA support on the Qs, and ES has it just underneath the low of day right now. So we know that's a big area, right? There's lots of bids just underneath us here as well. Feel like we want to trade lower. It's just, is this passive buyer going to keep showing up? It looks like we want to trade lower to me. This can be a pullback that holds. It's very deep already. It's a shame we haven't had a retest of this up here really. Are they going to break now? There's still someone on the tape. Every aggressive sell is being absorbed. Even that last lot. Do we trade through it? These sort of 90s to 85s as a passive buyer keep absorbing. There again, every flush through he's absorbing it. Again, the same thing. It's crazy. Someone doesn't want this to trade lower. You see how every flush is so quickly snapped back up? That's just a passive buyer, just soak. Just a full-on soak. If I show you on Bookmap, there's 3 times we've done this move. 1, maybe I'll move this along. 1, 2. Maybe was there one before? Where was the one before? There was one before. But every sort of dip into here, it lasts a nanosecond. It's absorbed. Now he's coming back on the book here. It's interesting. And again, dips soaked and absorbed. There is a passive buyer absorbing as much as he can down here right now. It doesn't mean he gets his way. I'm just saying what there is. Now he's moved. So do we see follow through to 80s now? If we trade under 80s, I think, or under 73s, there's more chance. He's still come back on the tape. Endless absorption down here. Endless absorption. So remember, the buy side delta, the outlier today was at 17. Just in that rotation, the grey box to grey box on your screen. That's your rotation right now. Having a look at the broader market. AMD doing all right today. Relative strength there. Bitcoin doing all right. IBIT up. Remember, we were pretty thin on that way down. That drop was pretty quick from those 40s and 50s. Just be aware of that. What's my best advice for people that are starting? I think I just gave it, didn't I? Do as much as you can for free. Speak to people in communities that can help you, can offer you advice. Do not trade your own capital. Learn one trade setup at a time. All right, one trade setup at a time. Do not try and do too many setups at once. Learn one trade setup at a time. Still can't get through those 15s. Is it 15s? 17s, isn't it? 17s. That's still a big level up there. It's where the buyers got stuck earlier today. Through that, there's a squeeze back to, I'd say, 50s. But so far, every little pop up into that area, they keep reselling. Question is there follow through to downside? I'd like to see follow through to downside. But we know at 50s, this is where buyers got stuck at 50s and below. All right, as sellers got stuck, sorry, down here. And we know we're currently holding these pivots here on the rotation. Buyers got stuck up here from 50s for the wash. We're now building out liquidity. The question is, are we going to see this, or are we going to see a reclaim and a retap of this first? I have no idea, folks. I can't tell you. I'm not Nostradamus. All I know is that every pop into 17s like that again, they keep reselling. So every time they're getting aggressive, they keep reselling. And I know there's a passive buyer that keeps just stepping in here over and over and over again. How are we looking on CVD? Let's move this along. Yeah, no divergence on CVD yet. Everything looks correct. Back to the 17s. They still can't close over 17s. It is a bit messy. And if they get a squeeze, they're going to come right back up to here into the 50s where we sold from. Don't see a beautiful setup here at the moment. Just in a range. Here's your edges for the day. That's your range. At the moment, it's unwilling to move outside of that. Very, very clear. So we're in rotation. My least favorite trade, as we all know. So probably going to come up to these 50s now because we were thin down. We're going to come back up and reprice it and see if there's a seller still there. And if not, then the squeeze is on. What a gross market. If it's been like this all the time I've been away, then ugh, don't care that I've missed it. I mean, you can see it in the daily. The daily just looks dreadful. Looks absolutely dreadful. We're not going anywhere. We haven't gone anywhere. You've had that from that pivot in, I don't know, mid-December, 17th of December. We haven't gone anywhere. We've just gone sideways. So reselling, point of control, they didn't even get to that grey box above. Oh my gosh, market, come on. Make your mind up. Make your mind up, market. Hopefully we get something. I'd like another trade here. Value zone still negative, still under the 17s, but inside value. I think if we get underneath value area low and previous week value area low, we've got an expansion model. We just have to watch that initial balance. I'll get rid of this now. Traded through it too much. Back to the 6s. Value area low just below, as you can see. But our current value area low is also previous week value area low. That is your edge right now in this market. That is your edge into that level. Can we see some follow through today? If the broader market starts to sell, tech will probably get weaker. It's been the weaker asset, so we'll see. Here's value area low. Remember, previous week value area low under this. So this is starting to look like we want to sell through now. This is our edge. If we start trading under and under an IB, your cover is to here. So it's a shame they didn't get a little bit higher. We're starting to break now. They couldn't reclaim. They lost 17s. If we trade, this is the big level here. If we lose this and we lose this, this is possible. Okay, starting to see follow through in this market. Big seller here, so I expect a little bit of a shift around this point here. Big seller here, just came on the tape. See if we can get a pop to resell. Can we get to lower date? And under IB, then we know where we want to go. Really good. Remember, 550 was the level I told you before. Remember, 550, this is the level that sellers were stuck. Should put this in. 550 to low of day. 550, right here. Right, that's where sellers got stuck this morning. That's where their delta is. Aggressive sellers came in at 550 on the dot down to low of day. So this is what I'm saying. There were big sellers down here. I expect a bit of a shuffle. We want to see if we can get a pop to fade now and then trade through them. We do not want to be a new money short into where everyone was stuck this morning. And we'll see how we trade around this core now. We can look at this level here as well. There we go. What's that? 80s. Okay. I expect we will. One of these markets will make a new low of day. ES come down. Double bottom yet. Hasn't broken down. We have got the 20-day below it. So again, mean reversion type trade. Maybe we can go as high as 80s, maybe even 90s, where a big seller came in at 90s. Let's see if we can pop into 80s or 90s, and if they offer a refade for low of day. We'll be careful of the reclaims here. Here we go. Really nice. Come on, baby. Can we get lows? Can we get low of days here? And a snap. Hey! He's back. Thank you. Right, runners now. Let's see if we get lucky down into there. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see if we can get follow through now. What have we got on the tape? 505, 500s, whole levels. I think we can get weaker. So we'll respect the 500s for a whole level, okay? We'll respect the 500s as a whole level. Starting to break now. Broader market starting to break with us. We're in the weaker asset. It's exactly where we want to be. We want to be positioned short on the weaker asset. It's beauty. It's a beauty. Let's see if we can get downside follow through. So if we get really lucky, we get 400s and even like these 300s down here. I mean, that would be a pretty big move, but I'm not going to rule it out. All right. If this market wants to go trend, which would be outside of initial balance, if the market wants to go trend, these are your targets, right? This is a weekly target. This is previous day low. Is it previous day low or is it previous week low? It's previous week low. My bad. Previous week low. Yeah, runner only. Same for me. Runner only. It's a nice trade. Runner only. And I'm not going to add back on just because we're in rotation. Maybe I'd consider it up into here if I see a strong rejection and buyers getting caught. But really, I just want to manage this position now and see how low we can go. Yes, here we go. Here we go. What a beauty. What a beauty. Holding from 650 is a great trade. Up here, great trade from that break. Really nice, mate. Really nice. Okay, ES through its 20-day, seeing SPY can join in. We're coming into our 50-day here on the QQQ. We want to see VIX break out of 18. That is clearly a put wall there at 18 based on the reaction earlier. I've had that level in for months now. If VIX starts breaking out of 18, we can possibly get all hell will break loose in here. How low can you go? How low? I need all these as like theme tunes when we're doing this. All right, breaking. Lovely. Let's see if we can get more follow through. So into the under 500s now. Can we get follow through downside? We just want to see pressure. Previous week open 31, previous week low 406s. These are some of our targets under there. We have some old balance ranges down into the 300s if we get really lucky. VIX is starting to break through it. Okay, so we would love a 5-minute close here above it on the VIX, above the 18s. We've got 1 minute left on this 5-minute bar. And that would be really good. Nice. We're going to break lower. Looking good here. Just be careful as SPY comes into its 20-day right now. So just be very careful as SPY comes into its 20-day here. Come on, VIX. I want VIX to close high here on this 5-minute bar. And then maybe offer a little pullback into 18. And then I want them to rebid VIX. And then we'll get follow through downside. Just manage your positions. It's a really nice move here. A little bit of shelf being developed here. You can see it right here. So into sort of 90s. All right, bit of a shelf here into 90s. You can see it. You want them to stay heavy there. We have a low volume node up into 22s. So you want them to stay heavy from 90s, 22s max. It looks like it wants to break for that previous week low here. You have a buy side delta caught offside at 11s, interestingly. So 511, big buy side delta spike there. So someone tried to come in and buy the market there like a bit of a wally. No tariff news today. I don't know. They've kicked it down a road again. Like they do with everything. Cook the books, kick it down the road. Everything's fine, nothing to see here. It's all good. Kick it down the road. So watch this shelf here, 90s. If they squeeze, we're going to probably come up to here. So 90s break. We have a little nugget here. This is where the buyer got caught, who tried to buy it there for some weird reason, but that's what he did. And SPY right now stopping right on its 20-day. We're now breaking below the 50-day on the Q. That is not a good sign for the market if we stay heavy below the 50-day, especially if we get a 25-50 cross. And then lots of you don't believe in that, but there are many traders that use that as sentiment, including institutions. Believe it or not. Unlike that fucking weird old man with glasses and a cap who wants to tell you otherwise, but hey. $70s here now. Let's see if we can get, I really want to get to 30s and even 06. Just nailed $800 short and 300 away from passing a lucid eval. Congratulations, man. Glad I was able to help you with that. Oi, slipping off my chair. All right. Make sure you're not entering short down here. I mean, those who trade with me know that. Look how you're extended from flow zones. You're extended from any kind of level. We are developing a little shelf here, but I would not really want to be entering short here. There is a little shelf here, but you do not want to be entering short here. Your short opportunity was like on this break, even here, maybe even this here, I think is where I got in. Yeah. You are extended away now. 600 each on my PAs, 400 each on my evals. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Made some money back. I lost from overtrading yesterday. That's good. Just passed a 50K on 2 nice calls, Alex. Nice work. Nice work, everyone. Yeah, everyone passing evals, making money. Congrats. If you've not made money today, if you've lost money today, or maybe you've made some errors, just take a step back, take your foot off the gas. Just peeked over this little grey box. Remember, we're thin in here. Like I said, there is offside delta at 12. So this guy right here, it's a big buy side outlier. Big buy side outlier there. So I'm interested how we react into that 12s. And if we get above, we're going to retest the IB. All right, this is your sentiment for the day. This is actually a really nice day now because you have initial balance, previous week value area low, current day value area low, all pretty tight. All right, so as long as you reject that, you're looking for trend day lower. If you reclaim that, then we're going to go into a rotational market. So you have a clear level of confluence here with 3 levels all lined out together. All right, so you can use this sort of gray box here as your sentiment for the day. Are we going in a trend lower or are we going in a rotation? This will tell you how we act. Do we stay heavy outside of there, into there? Do we fail to get above, or do we just go above, reclaim, and start going back inside value? Three W's today, my best day of the week. Thanks for the assistance. You're welcome. Oh, Jason, I had the same, my friend. I'm really sorry to hear that. I mean, all of us got fucked by Khaled. What an absolute... See you next Tuesday. I'm sorry to hear that. Lucid won't do the same to you, though. AJ's a good dude. Okay, here comes the retest. So this is the outlier right here into, where did I say, 11s and 12s. If we squeeze through this, we're going to test this grey box above. But this is where the buyer got stuck before. If we squeeze through this, we're going to retest the box above. So far, we can't even get through that outlier I just talked about. No close above that outlier yet. So the outlier is at 12. We just peaked to 14 and instantly sold off. So he's still stuck up there. If we get through him, then we will retest this. I would not be long, guys. The only time I would consider a long today is if you reclaim all these levels and look at like something like this. At the moment, you'd be looking short anywhere in here for a continuation. You do not want to short the low of day. You're looking to short pops off good levels. If I show you the outlier, see this guy? I don't know if you can see this guy. This guy right here. And it's out. Oh, where's he gone? Outlier buy volume, right? Delta buy at 12, so around there. He's stuck. He is stuck. So you can lean on his pain for now if you want. If you're already in this, all the time he's out the money, you can lean on his pain. If he starts to reclaim, we're going to touch up here. Gonna have a little break for a bit, just a moment here. I'm going to stay with you guys. Just my neck sore, my head sore. This is a lot of work for me, like cognitive load compared to what I've had to deal with this week. So I'm not super fresh here. Just give my eyes a break for a minute. You've got the levels to look at. How many likes have we got on this stream? I want to do some giveaways coming into the new hour. Man, over half of you have not smashed that like button. Come on, team. There's over 500 of you watching here. Just smash that like button for me. Smash the like button for me, and we'll do some giveaways. Divergence on cumulative delta. Let me have a look for you. Looks all right on NQ. Oh, you said ES. Let me check ES for you. No, there. No, it looks all right. Looks all right. I'm looking on a 5 minute though. Maybe you're seeing some divergence on a lower time frame than that. On a 5 minute looks all right. No, I can't see any divergence. The highs and low peaks are in line. Okay, you can see again we can't get through that player at 11. I just gave that to you, or 12, or wherever it was. That player that we talked about, I showed you him on the Delta profile. He is still stuck at those 12s. All right, he's still stuck at the 12s for now. Trader Rick, thanks for joining, my fellow Brit. I hope Belize is treating you well. Where is Discord? Discord comes as part of the beginner to advanced program. All right, so if you do the beginner to advanced course, it's I haven't even had a chance to put the prices up like I was supposed to. That's how ridiculous this year has been. It is then still 649 right now. All right, 649. It's a 20-hour course. You get a version of the flow zone indicators come with that, and Discord, all included in a price. One-time fee. That isn't a monthly fee. It's a one-time fee. There is no free Discord. It's only for people who do the course. I've talked about this many times. The reason being, I like trading with people who trade the same way. It's important, especially for occasions like the last few weeks when I'm not there, that everyone knows what they're looking at and are trading the same way. If you want to do a top up, there is, I think it's about 7-hour course now on trading, volume profile, and order flow. All right, which went live just before Christmas. That is $399, I think. Thanks to Richardson's. Appreciate it. What city did I live in when I was in the UK? I was in London. Originally from Sussex, but I moved to London in my teens and never left until I moved here. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you're seeing bullish delta. Yeah, you're seeing bullish delta on ES, but there was no divergence because it's matching what we're doing. So I'm seeing bullish delta even on the Qs here and here, but we're seeing the market try and move higher. Where that would be a problem is if we're doing this and we're seeing bullish delta, that would be the divergence, right? Oh, MSTEU. Did you really? Can you re-email me, my friend? Can you email me again and I'll sort that out. Awesome, Stephen. That's great news. Congrats on passing. Thanks, Roscoe. Yeah, I mean, the way the course works is because it's from beginner to advanced, I have to do it as if you've never traded before, and then it builds and builds and builds and builds, right? So remember, I have to assume someone's got no knowledge. It might be that you did the course and then had knowledge, and then as we get through, it gets more dense with information once you've got a good base. Right. So this market still can't get through those sort of 12 levels. If it can get through 12s, there'll be relief up into here. But at the moment, every pop into these 12s, this little edge here is being sold. You can see this is starting to get thicker and thicker and thicker, sort of around here. All right, and more clear, I'd say even around here, more clear dips are holding into this at the moment. Relief will be back into this. This is the sentiment up here. I want to see the market trade into this, and we can make a decision how we act from there. Ideally, something like this. Or if you're looking for the range rotation, then you're looking for that move there. I might well be done. This is my first day back, so I don't want to force too much. That's the kind of course I need. Yeah, they're all available on the website, guys. I would advise you grab them soon, not for my own benefit, but I did say prices were going up in 2026. But as you know, I've been dealing with personal matters and I have not been able to adjust anything. I had just haven't had the time to do anything yet. So prices will go up. They should have gone up already. That is my fault. All right, still hanging around this big delta outlier. Can they cause the squeeze up to those sort of 30s, 40s, that kind of level? We've got a bit of a spoofer on the tape up there right now into the 530s. He just left the tape. All right, time for my first bathroom break of the day. We all know what that means. Probably come back and we're 100 points lower, but let's see. All right, be right back. Oh, it's a reverse bathroom break. I can't remember the last time that happened. Okay. Yes, daily. This is daily. Yeah, I'm here Monday to Friday, 6:15. Oh, sorry, 9:15 for you guys. 9:15 Eastern, all the way into lunch. All right, all the way into lunch. What platform do I need to trade on when you're joining your course? It's up to you, but I teach on TradingView. All right, so you can just get a free edition of TradingView. That's what I teach on. I go through it all on the course, like literally the first few modules. We talk about it. I did a double flush, JD, hoping it would move lower. Okay, ES back into IB. We've just done the same. So this grey box being tested now. Remember, this is the area we talked about. This is current value area low on the day, which we just tested and failed. All right, think about the edge of blue to grey right here. This is previous week value area low just above. This is initial balance. This is an area of sentiment. 1, 2 legs. Do they sell this now and look to break lower? If we're having a trend day, that's what we're going to look to do. If we're going to reclaim, all right, then we're going to go back inside value and probably come all the way up there. Those are the two trades. Right now, we're looking like a trend day. Looks very, very good right now. Remember, if you're short, if you just took that short while I just left for that push up, you want to be respecting these levels here. You want to be moving your stop down. You want to be protecting some and then holding to see if you get expansion. There's no guarantee of expansion. Looking good here. Did anyone take that short just while I stepped away? That was the grey box. Yes, I do. DA in the afternoons. Give the levels I'm looking at, any specific trades when I'm, especially if there's like an active setup, a good setup. Yeah, lots of you got short there. Nice work, team. Great work. So already looking good for you. You should be like sort of 20, 30 points. Just respect these kind of levels here. 500s down into these 90s, right? Respect this area. If you get a break underneath this 483, then I think you're going to look really good. But just respect this. We know buyers came in around this area we're at right now, the whole number. Respect these levels. right? Whether that means moving your stop break even, whether it means moving your stop positive 1R, whether it means taking a little partial, it's up to you, but just respect the levels. Really clean rejection on ES as well of that IB. Very, very, very clean. Okay, into these 90s now. We talked about this grey box, this node here at 92. You want to see the market move under this and stay heavy for you to continue to hold now. It's retesting a big level here, this grey node right here. You want to see the market move under it and stay heavy. What IB do you use? Yes, 1 hour. That's for me, that's the only IB. Initial balance, the first hour. Also, everyone else in chat, love. I'm looking at your course at the moment. Do you call out the entries on your trades? Help us along the way. I mean, isn't that what we've been doing all morning? Telling you the levels to look at, where we're looking to go, what the setups are. Pretty sure that's what I've done, which is why all you guys got short when I went to the bathroom. You've literally had it there. I literally told you what to do. Nice, Danny. Oh, on Discord, yes. In the afternoons, that is. In the afternoons, if there's a setup I like, yes. And it's not just about me. It's fellow members do the same. When they're looking at something, they more often than not will say, I'm looking at this level, looking for this level to hold, looking for expansion here, looking for rotation here. That's the whole reason we have the Discord for members only, because everyone trades the same way. Right, we're still looking like this market is trying to find dips at 94s. We want to see it move under that for all you guys who are already short. Big seller coming in here. You need continuation lower now because they're starting to be aggressive. There's a passive buyer starting to absorb 500s. We need to see this be aggressive lower soon for you guys to be comfortable, because if they keep absorbing here, you're going to see a lot of sellers get caught. So we want to see this break lower and stay heavy under this grey box for you guys. Right, there's someone absorbing the tape in here right now because we just had a big market seller come in. Right, we're looking for this for you guys. If you don't do it and we start to reclaim this, you do not want to be like holding and re-adding. There's a chance for a flush straight down to 80s here if they let this go. It's pretty thin between this right now. Let me just change this bookmap in case I can't see is someone being passive. There we go. I think there's a chance to move to 80s. I'd be very careful here if they start to reclaim. You want this push up here into these imbalances to fail. And we have some imbalances here. You want this to fail. You want this. Show you right here. All right. The problem right now is this aggressive seller didn't get his way. It might be that we need to drift into this, and then you'd be looking for that here. You have to cover some into these, and if you get lucky, you get a break lower. This guy right here is stuck right now. Stomach is rumbling. I need to eat. You're long 25,534. I mean, you're why? There's no close back above yet. Even if you got that right, look at the drawdown you're having to sit through. Let it close back above and hold that, I would say. Rather than on that first test. Like you might well be right, but let it close back above and hold that level and prove to you, okay, we want to go back in rotation. At the moment, there's nothing to say it wants to prove to go back in rotation where you've got long. back into this delta again, the same levels we had earlier at 12s. They're reselling that 12s. There you go. So this is the imbalance that we just talked about. You want that pop to sell. You need a break lower now, all right? Because they've popped up, they've sold it, point of control shifting lower. You need a break lower now. You do not want to see this just hang around in this area for a long time. It needs to start breaking lower for you guys to be comfortable. It's just filled that imbalance. It's failed. Where we had that old delta level, it's the same level I've talked about for the last, I don't know, 20 minutes, the 12s. Now it needs to break lower. It's as simple as that. It has to start breaking lower. Otherwise, you're going to have too many sellers get caught here. Here they go. They're going to try here. Can they get a break? Here they come. This is where the seller would start. They need a break now down to 80s. There you go. Right, so now can they get follow through? You don't want to see them start to hold this. This is where that seller got stuck last time that I talked about. You got to get underneath sort of 84s. You get very comfortable when you get under 84s for a break of low of day. So far, they're still trying to absorb these levels. There are buyers down at 80s and 77s. I'm somewhat surprised we didn't just trade into that, but still a passive buyer down here, clearly unwilling to let this retrade the lows. This shelf here becoming very, very, very important now. This right here. Do you have a free video on how to trade with anchored volume profile? There is a video on like volume profile mastery. You can just do it on there. I don't use the anchor on that, but it's exactly the same concept. It's literally identical. It doesn't matter if you use anchored or fixed or whatever. There's the same concept. New to trading and I only use Top Step with one screen. Would this course be good with that setup? I mean, Top Step's just a prop firm. It's got nothing to do with anything else. You need to learn to trade. It doesn't matter what you trade on. You need to learn to trade. It doesn't matter what you trade on. The concepts are the same. You can trade on any platform you want. All right, you can see them rebidding 500s here, 100 lot there at 500s. Still, they can't get a close over 12s. It's starting to look very, very, very messy. Someone is going to get hurt here soon. They cannot sit here forever and ever. Exactly, psych level 2, exactly that. Point of control and psych level now. And grey box, all of it. Node there, everything. VIX pulling back in a little bit as well. Bit of a two-leg back inside after squeezing through 18s. Let's see if they rebid on VIX for that curl and go. And if they do, then we'll get downside. If they don't, then maybe we do go back into range today. Time will tell. This is what I'm saying. For that short that you guys took, you have to be proactive. You have to respect what we built out beforehand. Okay, through those 12s now, or attempting to get through the 12s. ES back to IB. If they start reclaiming, there is obviously that IB to VWAP potential trade on the ES. Same kind of story on the NQ. If they do start reclaiming this shelf and they do find a rebid, right? If this becomes a failure to break lower, right, and they do this move, this is possible, absolutely possible. Big if, because we're nowhere near reclaiming, right? But if this is a failed break and we reclaim and base, this here becomes possible. But at the moment, it's way too early to say that. There's still quite a good chance that they can move down into this, but time will tell. Back to the 500s again. 135 lot here, looking to be picked up. Do they sell through him and trade 90s? That's the next level, really. nothing really in between. Through him they go. Reclaim instantly. Do they resell? No, not yet. A little shuffle here at 500s, just watching the tape. Back under 500, still no follow through down to the 90s and 80s. ES came back up to the IB, rejected so far, but still no big close. It's right at its 20-day. It's the big problem. So if you look at the spiders, they bid off the 20-day. The low of day was the 20-day SMA on the spiders. I think we should see follow through. It's just like, here we go, finally. Now, can they get under 90s? Get 84s is the big level I think we talked about. Sort of under here, under 84s, and then maybe they get down into this. We will see. Time will tell. Rebidding 90s again. Oh, this is messy tape. What are the horizontal lines in the grey that show the volume? Well, you've just answered it, my friend. They're volume. That's what they are. They are volume. What does it mean when I say reclaiming? Well, if we've traded, look, if we think about it, if we've broken under this level and we've retested it, we're still heavy. If we get above and hold above, that is a reclaim, all right? It's bulls saying, no, we're controlling this level now to go back upside. This grey box still holding, still trading between here and here right now. This just looks pretty ugly at the moment. What's the time? 8:20. We'll do a giveaway in a minute. If this market just goes to sleep, we'll do a giveaway. Yeah, I've got POC down here now on Ninja. I know it hasn't moved it down here, but for me, POC's flipped down here at 500s, not up here. I agree. Okay, back into the IB. And see if they do reclaim or they reject. I'd use this as a rough level from 530 to 560. I'd use it as a 30-point range here. And if they do reclaim, we can't rule out the move to 80 and 600, 613 for relief. Right, maybe we do one giveaway now and then we'll do one top of the hour. Let's do that. So I'm getting bored. I want you guys to be happy. All right, where's Nightbot? Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Appreciate it loads. All right. You guys know the score. Just type FZT once in chat. That's the code you can use on most prop firms to get you the best possible discount. FZT, Flow Zone Trader. Just type it once and we'll pull a random winner. starting to lift this market now up to that previous week value area low. Give you guys a couple more minutes to do that. And like I said, ES IB to VWAP taking place. So that's already, it's about to tap it already. So maybe a trade for Tyson there. I don't know. So the reclaim, that is the reclaim. Someone asked, what's the reclaim? This is a reclaim. All right, we've reclaimed this key level. The next drift is into 83s and then all the way up into here into 12s. All right, so that is quite literally the reclaim we just talked about. Give you guys just a tiny bit more time. Into that previous week value area low. Next step is grey box and then the 12s. All right, so what I'm going to do is just remove this now. Don't need that. Grey box and then the 12s. All right, let's pull this winner. Guys, you guys who spammed it won't win. I should have said that. I feel like I say it every time, but if you spam it, you don't win. Okay, the winner is Paul. Paul 1906. Are you here, Paul? Paul 1906. Are you here, my friend? Yes, there you go. Okay, Paul. All I want you to do is send me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com, and just send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube. I'm making a note of your name now. And once we get off the stream, I'm going to sort you out with a free Apex account. I'll send you a code. You can use it for any size Apex account you want. Remember, right now, Apex is on sale, 80% off. They kindly support us on this show. And if you use code FCT, that helps me get more codes. I can give them back to you. And it's a rinse repeat. All right. All right. Back to trading. We'll do another giveaway at the top of the hour when I finish. Make sure none of you have emailed me here. Here we go. Who was it that just emailed me? I'll reply to you, whoever won last week. Sorry about that. Apologies about that, but I did just reply to you. Okay, so getting stuck up here for a moment. Let's see if they pull back and hold here or even all the way down here to 507s again. So do bulls now step in at around the 30s, somewhere around here, if not all the way down here, which would be ugly. Bulls really, you'd want to see them step in. We've developed a bit of profile here. This is like kind of ugly, this distribution today. But maybe they hold here. If not, back into this IB. ES did the move, right? When we talk about the IB to VWAP move, all right, look at the reclaim. This is actually very, very clean on ES, right? We build, and then the relief straight into VWAP, all right? We call that Tyson's trade because it's the trade that I made him focus on to get him his payouts, which he got another 4K payout today, I think he said. And he just made another, I don't know, what was it? 400 on each account or 600 on each account? info@flowzonetrader.com. info@flowzonetrader.com. Right, we have to see how much relief they get. If they get continuation of relief, we're looking for VWAP and point of control, or the old point of control on the session up here into 50s. Lots of you should have had a good day today. So it's good for me to just get back in the saddle and just feel out what the market's feeling like. All right, so into that next node, the grey box. And then above that, if you're long, you're looking for view up. Sorry, just messaging family here. Am I going live tomorrow? Yeah, I hope so. Unless something changes, I'll be live for the rest of the week. Unless something changes. My intention is to be back to normal now as much as possible. There might be the odd day that I have to have off, but as much as possible. We need to get these likes up to 400. If we're going to do another giveaway in 30 minutes, we need at least another 70 likes on the stream, folks. Let's get the likes up to 400 and we'll do another giveaway at the top of the hour. Lots of you watching this have not smashed that like button. You do that for me, I'll give you some free accounts. That's the deal. Okay, ES driving to its 24-hour view up now. We're almost at New York, not quite. So we're in this little node here. Through this, we're going to go view up and then maybe even 650s. Can't rule it out. Where's the next node? 616s, really. 616s. No, it's not based on reclaiming view up, Luke. It's based on, this is a failed auction. Okay, the market, if we're going to go in a trend day, it needs to stay heavy versus the initial balance. We don't stay heavy versus the initial balance. So what we do is we create short stops here. You guys sell that. Like I said, you must respect structure here. We held the I can't remember what level that was. I have to look on this screen where they got caught. 90s. We held the 90s. And we reclaimed the IB. Once we reclaim this IB and value, there's one trade where it likes to go from initial balance reclaim. It's to try and get to a VWAP. All right, it's very, very, very common. Once we reclaim an IB, if we fail an auction outside of initial balance, and look back at the last few days. I haven't been in here, but all right, here you go. Fails to trade under IB, goes to VWAP. Fails to trade above IB, goes to VWAP. Fails to trade under IB, low of day, right at the end of the day, goes back to VWAP. I can go back every day and you're going to see the same thing. All right? It's very, very, very common. This was a trend day. All right, so we never come back down. See the difference? We print above IB, we print above IB, we expand. It wasn't like we looked above and failed and came back down. That never happened. There was no look above and fail. Right, rejecting grey box for now. It's an interesting one, this. If it can't get up there, it very, very possibly comes all the way back down into this shelf here. But right now, I would say bears got caught under here, and the drift higher is very, very much possible. But we'll see, unless the broader market starts getting weak. $40 is possible here. 58s, they're bidding 50s. Can they flush 40s? And then do they move lower than that? We will see in time. How do you identify the initial balance? It is the first hour of trading. So if you go from your 9:30 to your 10:30, all right, just get a 30-minute chart. 9:30 to 10:30, mark out the high and the low. That's all you have to do. Yeah, IB is initial balance. Quite right. No worries, Luke. Thanks, Green Otter. A slow return for me, but it's nice to be back a little bit. I'll give you a readout on the mag so you can see where they're at. Tesla, just over 2% down. Nvidia, just over 2% down. Microsoft, 1.54% down. Meta, 1.65% down. Google, 0.83% down. Amazon, 1.81% down. Apple, 1% down. As an equally weighted mag, all right, if the mag were equally weighted in ETF, we are 1.58% down. Seeing some weakness in chips, though, like Oracle, 4% down. AVGO, 5.25% down. Tech sector definitely getting hit. If we have a look at the breadth, let me have a quick look on how this market's looking. Okay, so consumers doing okay. Real estate doing all right. Utilities doing all right. Healthcare doing all right. Tech down heavy. Consumer defense is okay. Sorry, not consumers. Consumer defense. When I said that, it was an error on my behalf. So let me bring this over for you. Can I squeeze this in? All right, if we look at the breadth. All right, names in the S&P, all right, in the S&P, this is basically your NQ. All right, NQ getting whacked because it doesn't have strength in healthcare or energy. All right. So we're in the weaker asset here. Right, back down to these 40s while I got caught monologuing like I was just talking about. This is the big level now. Yeah, Peter, at least for me personally, yes. I'm still managing some positions in those that I've had from last year, but yes, I'm certainly not buying the froth. All right, ES rejecting the VWAPs, coming back down to its IB. We're doing the same trade here. Now, the question is, does it hold the initial balance now, or is this a two-leg which gets sold into? All right, so this level here, key, is this a two-leg which is now sold into? I.e., is this a huge bear flag, 1, 2, which is now sold into, or do they rebid this area here, which they've been bidding all day? I'm still in all my positions, but remember, my positions are long-term positions, as in for like most of them are forever holds, if not 1 to 2 year swings. Yeah, so I'm not like oversized in something. It's not like a trade for a couple months. Most of my positions are long-term, so I can tell you right now, I'm down a little bit on Netflix, which I opened yesterday, just tiny positions to get my feet wet. Meta, I'm still up on, very, very small amount. Amazon, I'm up 8.37% on. AMD, I'm still up 37% on, but I locked in 80-90% of my profits there. And Apple, I'm still up 22%, and I'm not looking to sell that. These are like core positions that I try and hold, and even if I go through drawdown in some of these over a year or whatever, long term, I'm confident in the assets I'm buying. They're less speculatory buys. They're more like position buys on vehicles that I think have potential for more growth in the future. All right, ES, trying to find a bid in front of IB. We are right on IB right now. How much time we got left? Running out of time. 20 minutes left. It is possible we go into a bit of a rotation down here for a while if it can't make its mind up. Yeah, those 17s and 20s key. Oh. Has it been like this the rest of the week, guys? You get some nice moves early and then has it been going to sleep? I guess there's not been much follow through looking at the daily. Rejecting this kind of shelf here now. This is key. That previous week value area low. We did just reject it on that grey shell, that grey box. We just rejected in front of it. But we're inside IB. Oh, they're just stacking both sides now. The bookmap looks awful. It's just stacking both sides on the bid and the ask. It's not very pretty. Don't think there's a huge amount of edge in here right now. Yeah, definitely left sellers caught around those 500s right now. No doubt about it. It's just, can they get back down to them and let them out or not? In Bookmap for stacking pulling, do I just look at the DOM or do I have some other kind of tool? I don't use any tools for Bookmap. Naked, as naked as possible for me. I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm glad to be back. All right, back to IB again. They're trying to aggressively sell through here. There's still a passive buyer on IB. The delta still in line. No big divergence here. Maybe ES wants to come for its IB. Maybe we come down to this delta at 12s. I don't know. Just looks a bit iffy right now, the tape. It just looks like they don't know what they actually want to do with it. Normally I'd be thinking about leaning on this short side, but first day back and all. And there's definitely been a passive buyer just like trying to absorb everything, just waiting for him to piss off and for like market to have like strong momentum. And we're not really seeing that. We're just hanging around at the IB low. Here comes the selling. They're trying to force it again. Seller coming in here, and again, some absorption taking place. Someone is gobbling it up today on every like major pull, even though we've moved lower. If someone is like adamant on gobbling it up, I'm just waiting for him to disappear out the tape. Yeah, exactly. And they keep reloading that bid. Maybe like I said, there's delta outlier at 12s. Point of control is actually at 500. So like this is still the level down here. If this is a 2-leg that we then sell into, all right, and we're starting to see this here. If they don't rebid this, this is where we get a breakaway from. All right, so we've come back up. These boxes were here. Remember, we just missed the VWAP tag, but we had divergence because ES did hit its VWAP. There's your 2-leg. There's the backside of this. All right, this is the question now. Do they rebid here? All right, or do they lose this now? And we've got these levels to attack. They're not making it easy, though. I'll tell you that much. So here's that move into those 12s again. Remember, we've talked about these 12s all day, over, under, over, under. When we're under them, we kept rejecting and rejecting, 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 rejecting. Now we've come right back to them into this grey box. So let's see how we act. Do they rebid this, or do they bid start to lose traction? ES back into its initial balance low and its 20-day. All right, that's the key thing. Q's bid off their 50-day today. We've already lost the 20-day. We're trading between the 50-day and the 20-day right now on the Q's. ES, a little bit stronger. It's bidding off its 20-day at the moment. Hello, I'm glad you're back. Question: how long have you been trading, and how long until you became profitable? Well, I've been back at it full time for 6.5, 7 years. I was trading before that in my like early 20s. It took me a while to adjust to futures. I've probably been trading solely futures for, where are we at now? 3 or 4 years. I started in like swing investments, and then I moved from that into like small caps, and then small and mids, and then large caps, and then just into futures. No worries. All right, back to these 12s again. Big old delta outlier here. Point of control just below that 500. A big standout number. Someone trying to buy this again. I don't think he's going to get his way. I think he's going to get washed out here. Here we go. He's going to get washed out. Oh, coulda, woulda, shoulda. That was probably a very good short here. All right, so if you took that, you'd be covering some here now. And wait to see now if you get that breakaway. 1, 2, backside. If you get a breakaway under here, you can attack this level. Okay, it looks like you're going to get it. Here's the 500s. I told you that buyer here. You could see he was being too aggressive, and he's going to get himself caught. So cover some into this now. So TP some into this, because you've got to respect looking left at what we have. And if you get a breakaway under here, you can look for the 400s. All right. If you get a breakaway underneath, you can look for the 400s. Don't expect it. It's if you get it, you can hold your runner for that. Small caps are fun trading. Yeah, I mean, I left it dried up for like, must be a good couple years. Took some big losses in small caps though. It was way too aggressive. Had some really bad habits. Hence, creating my flow zones is the whole reason. The whole reason I created this whole thing. All right, losing point of control. Bottom side of this shelf now. If buyers don't start showing up soon, you're going to get a breakaway towards those lows that we've talked about. Where are they bidding? 80s, 70s. The guy's still below, like we talked about earlier. Yeah, 50s. Yeah, here comes the breakaway, guys. Here's the low of day. Value area low here, so cover point here, and let's see if you get that breakaway to previous week value area, previous week low, all the way down here if you get lucky. And if you get through that, there's a big block down here. So this has just built out loads of liquidity on a 2-leg, and now we can see if we break away from this grey box. All right, ideally we break away from this grey box for those of you short, and you can make a ton of money. All right, ideally you get something like this now. Oh, let me draw it for them before it goes without me. Ideally you get something like this now. That'd be the most ideal move. You do not want to see this. That's a failed look below again. All right, you don't want it to reclaim this. All right, if they cannot use this area to protect, if they cannot short here, I'd probably be done with it for the day, to be quite honest. Oh, where have you gone? All right, they want to use this volume to trade lower from. If they can't use that volume to trade lower from, it will be problematic. Lots of bids underneath here for it to trade down to. It's just, are they going to let it happen? How long have we got to lunch? 13 minutes. They should. They should let it happen. So this grey box so far rejecting. It's what you want to see, and you want a new low of day, and then down into here. All right, so you're looking for grey box to reject, break underneath this, use all the stops to get down into here. That's what you're looking for at the moment. You do not want it to reclaim the grey box. A reclaim of grey box means leave it the F alone, all right? If it reclaims the top side of this grey box, just leave it alone. Be done with the day. But all the time we're doing this right now, we look good. See if we can get a snap of this low of day, and then if we can get down to previous week open, which is 30s, and previous week low, which is 06s. And we've got 10 minutes left. I want to do another giveaway. Have you got me up to enough likes yet? You still have not. We said 400. We're at 362. So we need just under, we need 38 more likes on stream. And we'll do another giveaway. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You can see them here on the book. Like 70s, 60s, 40s. Is there anyone below 40s? There's some thin stuff, and then down to the 400s, which is where I would like to see us trade today. If we're going to get weak, that would be like a really good cover point. What you are looking for is this, right? TP1, TP. Actually, there is a TP2, which will be at 30. TP2, TP3. Anything beyond that is a gift down into here. And if we think about that as an extension, let's see if off this 2-leg, could we get there? Well, we can definitely get into previous week low, and a measured move would be. It's not not doable. You know, it is possible, but this is more probable. This is possible. Let's see if you get follow through now. All right, so you've taken the low out. Let's see if we get follow through now down into here for you guys. Looks good. Looks good. It just took a while to develop. Looks good. It's a shame this popped up as much as it did and didn't make this. But ES was very clean. Very, very clean. Here you go. So congrats if you got this. Looks really good now, folks. You built all these buyers now have come in this 2-leg. Just think about this. They bid here, they bid here, they bid here. They got caught. We're moving away. We're going to use all their liquidity. Remember, 30s, I said, is previous week open. 32s is previous week open. That's your TP2. So TP1, TP2, TP3. And if you get lucky, you get into this block. All right. It's looking great. Fantastic trade, folks. Fantastic trade. Really nice. And we're short on the weakest assets. That's exactly what we want to be doing. Good Confluence. Pay yourself along the way. Hopefully you get the 30s for that previous week open. But if not, you can just pay yourself on the way down. Don't be too greedy. But this looks really good for a breakaway. Very rarely do Asia. I live in Los Angeles, mate. I have to sleep at some point, right? I have to sleep at some point. Unless I think that Asia's setting up with something really good. Because we've had like some major consolidation during the New York session or something. It's very rare that I trade Asia. But you're very close to those 30s. Don't be a dick for a couple points or whatever. You can pay yourself along the way here. Spiders into these 20-day moving average. Let's see if they flush through this 20-day. Let's see if VIX can go back through the 18s. It's very, very close. But a nice trade to end the stream there. So you are in a trend day scenario here. We are in an expansion model here, right? We rejected previous week value area low. We've rejected IB on the return back in, all right? We squeezed over. This was a bull trap, and we are in expansion mode. So we're looking for this and this now. Do not be buying this. There's no reason to buy it. It's not held. Lots of bids coming in here. They're trying to get this back up to that shelf. They want to get out, break even. They're trying to get out to that shelf to get themselves out. I don't think they'll be able to do it, but you never know. That's what they're attempting to do. I think the more of them that come in and force it, the more they're going to get hurt. Alex Injustice bought the order flow course. Do you need anything to activate? No, like if you've bought it, it will show in your when you log in to the back end of the Flow Zone community, it will show there. If it's not there, just shoot me an email. It might be that you've used a different email or something to originally, and I can add it back onto your profile for you. Another sell re-entry. I mean, the only place would be this can act as resistance, low volume node. All right, so if they sell this, and if they drift up here, so there could be a sell here, there could be a sell here. What you would not want to do if it does this, I'd be done with sells for the day. All right, if it reclaims this level here, I would be done with sells for the day. Until that point, yeah, just look to keep looking for these. Trader Doc, you're welcome. Sup, homie, just found your channel. Do you use fixed range volume profile in your setups? It's very similar. It's very similar. I'm using anchored to the 930, all right? Anchored for the New York print. It's exactly the same thing as what you're talking about. It's just the only way I can have it on the right-hand side. Okay, here you go, folks. You're getting very close to previous week open now. 430s, cover point previous week open. Through that, previous week low. You look fantastic. Here we go. Very, very close to the 30s. Like I always say, don't be a dick for a tick, especially remember you've got 5 minutes until the new H1. Don't be stupid and be like waiting for everything and get caught out in an H1 spike. At least, at the very least, move your stop into the money. Excellent analysis. Had multiple wins with you today. Again, first day, best I've found so far. Thank you, my friend. It means a lot. It's very kind of you. Thanks. You helped me a lot with my strategy today. You're welcome. So reclaim of 25,500 is over for shorts. Yeah. Basically, I'd say you want to be very careful. If we do this and hold, all right, then we're going to leave shorts versus here trapped. And then this opens up this move here for a grind back. Like we've done a 2-leg pullback, all right? The pullback's happened. We've lost IB. We've lost previous week's value. We're trading lower. If we start reclaiming these levels, it means sellers didn't come in aggressive enough to force us lower. You don't want to be short if we start reclaiming a level like this, all right, because we're going to get squeezed out. You also don't want to be short if we start taking out all the low-hanging fruits, all right? Remember, our low-hanging fruits, we're starting to take them out. Market only wants to move so far. Let's, be realistic here. Our trades today, we started getting short up here, I think it was. Right, somewhere up here for this move. And then we reshorted, or you guys reshorted this. I think I reshorted this for this move. And then some of you took this for here. And then this breakdown here for here. There's only so much, all right? If panic comes in, great. Well, we're going to be covering the flushes on panic. We don't want to enter new short positions as we trade deep into discount, do we? Because this blue box is a 2-week value area low, which means it's a very, very discounted range. All right, we can look at that. We talked about it right at the beginning of the day. All right, right here. Right, so if we leave this, we are now starting to trade into this. We are leaving this. Okay, we want to be careful as we trade into here. Yeah, 400s is a big, big, big level. 400s and what's that? 350. 400s and 350 is a very, 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 very big level. So we don't want to keep adding short the closer we get to it. Think about risk reward. If you are adding short down here as we're getting closer to target, your risk is getting bigger, your reward is getting smaller. Great job today, Alex. It's totally impressive. Thanks, man. Great session today. You're welcome, Jade. How do you personally manage stress regulating the nervous system with scalping, quick decisions, or after a session? Breath work for me. Yeah, breath work for me. So I went and did a breathwork course probably 3 years ago now. I did a 3-month breathwork course. I then did, after I did that, I did an instructor's course because I enjoyed it so much. And I use breathwork to regulate myself, both before I come on stream. Sometimes if I'm in a stressful trade, which is kind of rare nowadays, unless I've made a mistake or if it's an A+ and I'm sizing up. But yeah, you might need to do, if you're finding stuff tough, you probably need to do a nervous system reset. It's like a double breath in, single breath out for a long time, and be looking at getting better and better and better at doing that. Thanks, E-Rock. Oh, I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. My instructor, I'm actually going to a class today in Venice. Daisy Mack, spiritual mixtape. You can look her stuff up. Good friend of mine. Would I consider today a break of structure on the hourly? Let's have a look. Let's have a look to get together. Let's just do it on here. It's very hard, man, because we're just in consolidation. Technically, yes. On the hourly, technically, yes. We're leaving this. This was the attempt to the new high. Yes, technically. But the bigger swing points are here. This is why this is so big. And this is the old POC, right? Technically, yes, I would agree. But, you know, look how many weeks and sessions we've spent in range here. It's very messy. You want to be very careful oversizing on what we consider a break on an hourly structure if there's a lot of support like sat down here from this, right? This is why I just said 400s to 350s is such a big level, right? If we start losing this, we can think about good night market, right? All right, into lunch here. I'm gonna want to pull another winner. Have we got enough likes? All right, guys, you need to help me out here. What did we say? 400. Are we not there yet? We need 17 likes. 17 likes, and we do another Apex giveaway. What's the settings for AVP? That's right. All right, I use ticks. If you're using rows, you can just do 1,000. I use ticks per row only because then it then matches what I do on footprint. Style, just have it set to right. That's all I change, other than colors and POC. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. Nice, Jay. Welcome. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Mohammed, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hello, my friend. Hello, hello. All right, thanks, guys. You got me to 400. Right, so I will set up some giveaways here. Again, don't do it yet. Wait for me to set it up, and please don't spam it. If you type it more than once, all it does, right, is ban you from the giveaway. So do yourself a favor. Just type it once when I say so, which is now. Okay. FZT, all you got to do is do it once. Type it once. What are the benefits of members? You have more chance of winning stuff. Like this giveaway, you have an increased chance of winning. And you get more shout outs. I'll see your questions before anyone else's. a minute to do this. All right, just be careful. We might come and revisit this level we just talked about. So we just missed 32s. We came to 39. Like I said, don't be a dick over a few points, especially into lunch. So shorts will need to hammer this. If they don't hammer this, I would probably be done with it, honestly. Thanks, Chris. It means a lot. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all the love and prayers and support I've had from everyone recently. Have I taken any trades? Yeah, I've called all the trades that I've taken. I haven't traded a lot today. So rejection in front of this, well, in front of the bottom of this node, to be honest. So I can show you my scorecard today. Here's my scorecard for you. All right. Working my way back slowly, trading one at a time. Short still looks good. Let's hope they can continue this lower. Right. I'm going to pull the winner here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I trading places I. Are you here? I trading places I. I trading places I. Are you here? Nice. Okay, all I need you to do, my friend, email me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube, so I just know it's you. Email that to info@flowzonetrader.com, and I will sort you out with a free Apex account, okay? So info@flowzonetrader.com. All right, folks, that's it for me. First day back, not a bad day back. Just slowly working my way back into it all. Really appreciate everyone who's reached out to me over the last couple of weeks. It's meant a lot, honestly, much more than you can ever imagine. And I've missed trading with you guys. It's good fun. Good to be back. That wasn't too much of a bad day. I've got to feel my way back into this market. You know, I'm not going to be able to size up and use all my accounts together right now until I feel mentally sharp enough and able. But hopefully I've been sharp enough to help you guys make some money today. That's all I ever want to do, is help you guys make money. For all you guys that are new and just joined the stream, I recommend going through my YouTube channel. There is a ton of free education on there. All right, go through it. It will help you make sense of what we do when I'm trading in here, what I'm talking about, all the terminology, all the setups I'm looking at. And if you want to learn more, of course, you can do the course. There's no pressure. There's 2 courses on my website, flowzonetrader.com. But make sure you do everything on my channel for free first. All right, take the education which I'm giving to you for free first. Save your money only if you want to do a full in-depth course should you do it. All right. I will see you all tomorrow. Those in Discord, I will pop in this afternoon. I need a break probably for 2 hours now. I've got to take my dog out and jump on a call, I'm afraid. But I will try and come back in the afternoon session to help you out with a few bits. All right. Peace and love, everyone. Use hard stops. Look after each other. Please be kind to each other. All right. There's too much hostility out there in the world. Be kind to each other. Take care.